Oh. What's up, dude? What's good?
Who's this?
Who are you? I don't know. I think you're. I think. Oh, dude, I was gonna tell you. I just thought of this today. You do some really funny voices. I was realizing you you did a voice the other day. You were who were you? You were somebody that made sense to be at the time. It was funny. You were like doing an impersonation, but the impersonation wasn't necessarily amazing. But what was interesting was how different you sounded. And I've heard you do this with a couple different voices.
Yeah,
Um,
it's something I used to do as a kid because my stepdad used to do like these he used to do these like radio I like it's like these like radio show ideas that he would just tape on his like stereo tape. So he had like a microphone and like a stereo with like a tape in it. And we had like these those like Halloween tapes and stuff like that where it had like those like scary voices on it. You know what I'm talking
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
about? So he would like take those and then play them and then tape over on top of it. You know, does that make sense?
My bad, I didn't hear you. Sorry. Did you hear that insane truck go by?
Yeah, that sounded like a giant 36 wheeler tractor trailer.
Yeah, something like that. All right, cool. I'm glad to know that's what it sounded like. But yeah, you were saying you would do
No, so he
something
used to
about.
take like he used to take like sound effect tapes and then tape over it with like voices and stuff, and then have us like add voices to it and stuff like that. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like doing like cartoon voiceovers, but we didn't actually have cartoons. But then he would draw cartoons later for it, so kind of cool stuff like that. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
oh, dude turned around. Forgot where he lived.
He's coming to get you. Uh oh. But yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I don't really like do the voices for any reason other than like it comes natural to me. You know what I mean? Like I've trolled a few people with it, but not. If I really wanted to troll people, I probably would just do that. But I don't really have the. It's kind of difficult to do the older I've gotten. When I was a kid, I could do it really easily, but I can't really do it anymore. I mean, it's like it takes a lot out of me to do that stuff. So, but
Mm,
I could do it for like 30 seconds. I can't really do it longer than that. It's kind
right,
of hard.
right. I understand that part.
But I like that. I mean, it's just fun to like. I don't know. I used to answer the phone like that at work sometimes, and like my boss would get mad at me. And so like this one time, this lady I used to that I was like working with, uh, she called me and she's like, I mean, she called looking for me, and I answered as somebody else because I didn't want to talk to her. So I was like, hello, something like that. And she's like, um, yeah, I was trying to find this guy, and he was helping me, and I had her on speakerphone, and this like my coworker was like, "What the fuck?" She sounds like she's like, having a orgasm on the phone, and I was like, "That's why I don't want to answer the phone. I don't know what's her problem, man."
Every time I answer, she just goes into a full blown orgasm.
It was
Oh
really
my
weird, and she wasn't like attractive, but she was like just kind of weird. But she wasn't like ugly or bad or anything, but she was just like weird, right? And she would come in without a bra on, right? So like you can like see through her shirt. but she looked like a nerdy person, and it was just a really like awkward situation. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
okay. It was a really weird thing, but that's why, like, I don't know. I used to just mess with people like that because I was like, I don't want to talk. Like, a lot of times, I realize like doing customer service, like, you have to make yourself scarce because if you make yourself available, people don't appreciate it. So I was just
That's
like,
right.
I'd be like, I try to be the boss, like, hello. Oh, yeah, you right now. Sorry about that.
I really had never heard anybody really. I think I've never heard anybody just give you a compliment on that, and that is something that stuck out to me actually recently because yeah, I've noticed that you've picked up the voices slightly, but they are like you could actually do something with that, man. Like you could do like fake commercials or something that would be hilarious.
I mean, honestly, I would like to. As much as I don't like Illumitami, I like that he's doing that kind of stuff of like creating fake lore and commercials. And if I had the talent to do that kind of stuff, or like even Pinoid, like he did those cartoons and stuff. Like, I don't have that kind of talent, but I would definitely like to do that kind of stuff. I think that would be pretty fun. Like just do something that's
Dude,
like
you could legit like put like a thing on Fiverr or something that you can do voices or whatever.
Well,
Just
now
hit.
everything's AI, so people don't have to pay anybody to do it. I mean, I don't really care about the money either, but I don't know.
Is that really true? I've never like given AI questions. I did through televised one time. He was asking it some questions that were pretty funny, and we caught it lying. And like it said it didn't say anything about one thing, and we're like, no, you did. And then it was
Yeah,
like, oh, that's right, I did.
that's actually a good point. I need to ask him to do that again because we were doing some cool stuff with that. He and I did some like I think we did a few shows of like AI talking to each other. I think he
Dude,
deleted
the
it.
one that I remember was like you told it to be. You're like, do it in the or take the personality of Adolf, and then you're
Did I
like,
really?
you're
That's
like,
funny.
yeah, and you're like at the end of everything you say, laugh maniacally, and then it would be like,
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that part.
but
That's actually funny as well.
I don't know what AI. I really should become more familiar, but I don't know. I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
I mean, it's honestly like I think that the way I look at it is basically like I'm not really that scared of it yet. I think that it is like ultimately like not good, but
It's not
uh,
good, but we have to learn to use it. Apparently, like we have to learn to live with it. Sorry.
well, yeah, I think we just. I mean, for me, I really tried to reject it, and then I kept seeing little things here and there, and the more and more I've looked at it, it's like I think that it would make it. I think it's good to use it so you know what's going on, but because like after a few months of using it for me, like I've kind of
What
started to
is?
see its
Dude,
weaknesses. Like it can only do certain things; it can't do everything, right? So it's
yeah,
not
but
it's not as advanced as it seems on the surface. But definitely, I think that it is a problem. If that makes sense. Like I think
that's
it's
what they
something to
kind
be.
of. I think the internet kind of started out that way. It was like nice and easy.
Yeah, I mean the internet I
And
was on back on the AOL days was just way more chill. Frankly, I mean it was like mostly just people talking in chat rooms and message boards and shit like that. So I mean, it was just way more like human focused, I guess. And I think it still really is. Honestly, it's just that so many people are using it for the wrong reasons. If that makes any sense. That it just drowns out the good things that are possible. And
yeah, I
I
see
think you
that.
just I think you just have to look through all that. And again, it doesn't mean that I don't. I think Machine's right. I mean, I think that ultimately, in a lot of ways, the world really shouldn't have so much technology. But in the meantime, we can't really stop that. So we just have to figure out how to coexist with it at the moment. And I think the more we
Right.
learn about it, the more ability we'll have to get rid of it, if that makes sense. Like, if we don't know anything about it, how can you phase it out of your life? I think that's going to be very difficult to do. Yeah.
Right. It could be
I mean,
affecting you 100 ways, and you would only know of like two or something.
well, yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of people keep bringing up like the Amish and stuff like this, and I think that I like that idea too. But I think as much as we try to look at it that way, like the Amish are always at the mercy of the people with the technology. So we have to kind of like be honest about that. Like if people come in tomorrow with machine guns and make the Amish get their iPhone 15, whatever, then they're gonna have to do it because they're not gonna have a choice, right? So it's
Right,
not
right. I mean,
yeah.
it is dramatic, but I mean, that sounds like something that would happen like over time. But I mean,
Yeah, I
potentially
mean
it
it
could
already is
happen. I mean,
happening. It already is happening. I mean, I was in
right,
Idaho
right.
a few years ago, and just to see what it was like, because Owen Benjamin's up there, and I was like, okay, let's go see what it's like. And there was like a bunch of Mennonite people up there with cell phones and stuff, and I was like, whoa, okay, so, and
They'll
it's just
drive
kind of
cars and
weird.
stuff.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was just kind of funny to me. It's like, so they're dressed basically, and again, that's kind of the funny part about like Islam to me too, is like watching people who are like all traditionally dressed, but they're walking around with cell phones and like gold Mercedes Benz and stuff. It's very kind of like odd in a way. It's like you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of funny. Like nobody really wants to reject technology. They just kind of want to
No,
pretend that they
people
don't.
do. People, I mean, well, again, like you said, like a lot of stuff affects people that they don't even really know the full extent of. Um, yeah, I don't know how I was going with that. Maybe something like that. I think yeah, I just think the ramifications are a lot higher than people really understand. But then when you
Oh,
look at it like
it
that,
definitely, it definitely is.
the complete opposite, like to say if you understand that and then you just run the opposite way, like you're kind of just you're looking at the ideas of Amish people of growing, like being an actual producer, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, from what I can tell, man, it looked like step one would be like learn, like getting a good understanding of it. But since it's popular, you have again like gurus that think they know everything, but they really don't, or they want to tell a kind of like a fake story to kind of troll for a little while. And but I know people who could actually teach. I know one person who I could actually call to teach me about it for real. Like he really should put on classes about what AI does, but
Well, I think the other
um,
thing is like most people don't really care though. They only care how it affects them, right? So like I think that's the other side of it of like people are only gonna react when it seemingly affects them, and I think I mean honestly I think that's kind of I think that's
when
a
they
positive
notice,
sign in a sense, but
it's when they understand that it affects them, because it affects them whether they understand it or not.
yeah, exactly. And I think
Uh,
that I mean yeah, when people perceive that it affects them, I think that's when people are going to pay attention. And I mean honestly, I don't know. I mean I have a complex view on it, but it's kind of boring to talk about. But yeah, I think it's uh, I don't know. I think people are just going to have to figure it out as we go. I mean, I think the system doesn't make you have to want to be involved in it. But I think that ultimately it will kind of punish you if you don't kind of get with the times. It's kind of like people who try like not to get a cell phone or an email. Like I actually was one of those people. Like I never wanted a cell phone. I thought email was okay because like I could turn it off and on anytime. I was like, okay, I can just if I want to look at my email, I can. If I don't want to, I don't have to, right?
Did you ever have a
You know.
beeper?
I know I was a little bit too young for that when that was popular, but
But you remember them?
yeah, I think that was, but I always found it kind of weird. Like my grandfather had one for his work, and I was like, it's kind of awkward, you know. Like he would just be
It
driving
was
down
a
the road,
business
and he would
thing.
get a message, and you're like, oh, well, I got to pull over and find a phone to call back my work, and I'm like, why? Yeah, he's like, well, yeah, it was just kind of weird, right? And but so I could kind of see the way things were going based on that, though. I was like, okay, so basically you're gonna be like anywhere in the world, and you're gonna get a fucking message. You gotta drop everything you're doing and just go deal with some
It's how,
bullshit. You know
dude,
what I
it's how
mean?
it used to work. It's how it used to work, man. It worked. You know, we corruption. You know,
I
basically
mean,
every.
communication in and of itself isn't bad, but the thing is like it's been weaponized. Where like, I mean, it's just funny. Like, if you watch people who work for like a corporation, like a big corporation, I don't know that
Yeah,
many, but I know a
I'm
few.
thinking people wouldn't make half the amount of mistakes that they do if it wasn't for like the ability for technology to make up for it.
Well,
You know,
I
like
agree. I mean, that's
they
one
would
that.
learn. You know what I mean? Versus like just
Well,
they would
that's one of the
learn.
things that I hate about it is like if you look at it, it's like a lot of these people, like a lot of people in corporate settings, they're not really better than anybody else. They're just willing to embarrass themselves essentially and like just go fuck up a bunch of shit and then get paid for it. I mean, the truth is like I've been around some corporate people. They actually don't make like the best decisions in general. Like it's more of like the fact that they're like a henchman and they're willing to do what they're told,
Abiding to the
essentially or something.
superior.
I don't know. Say that again.
They're just abiding to like a superior.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. And I think and there's value in that too. I mean, and like, but at the same time, it's like they're almost never doing it because they believe in it or whatever, right? It's more of like, well, I need this money and I'm addicted to this money and therefore I'll do it. And again, like I get it. I just think that it's like retarded. What the fuck are you doing? Sorry,
well,
I'm not you. I'm talking to this
the system
person.
is there.
Huh?
That's what happens when the system is your provider.
Oh, I can go in front. Shit. I'm sorry. I'm getting some gas, and this person's like, these people are driving like retards. You ever been to like a big box store, like a Sam's Club or Costco or something? I don't know what they got out there in that part of your world, but
Yeah, Costco, Sam's Club. They got that other one, that dirtier one, BJ's.
what?
They got one called BJ's, dude.
What's the dirtier one called?
Oh, it's called BJ's.
I don't like it just based on the name. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I was just grabbing this charger.
I'm trying to connect my headphones up.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you know more when you
Hello?
don't rely on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you just you know more. You learn more.
Well, it's like math. It's like math. Like I mostly learn math by like memorizing how to do it in my head.
Right. Yeah.
And then I noticed most people using the calculator, they actually didn't understand anything of what they were doing. Like they didn't understand like how does the numbers actually make sense, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. In different forms and shit. Yeah.
Or even if they were doing it like if they would write it all out, like showing their work, and then I asked them like now do the math in your head without doing the work. They couldn't visualize, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not making fun of them or anything. I'm just saying like they actually didn't comprehend what was happening, right?
Like they didn't comprehend like that the math is like a logical set of propositions that are turning into a solution, right? So I don't know, it's just kind of weird like that, you know, like
Yeah,
and
not everyone gets that.
well, I think most people could. It's just the fact that they've been, you know, they're taught to basically like, okay, well, the only thing that matters is like pass this test because if you don't pass this test, you can't get a good grade, and if you don't get a good grade, then you'll never have a good job. I mean, yeah. Like it's never like
Yeah,
the thing
no,
about school I hate
yeah.
was like it wasn't never about comprehension. It was about like if you want money, you have to do this thing, and then if you don't do this thing, you won't get money. Like that's
Oh
retarded.
yeah. Yeah, I had this one teacher. It was like a college class, and like they were teaching like math, like from like a middle school level. Like it was insane. It was like he's like, yeah, show all your work or something, and do it the way the book does.
Yeah, I
And I
got
just
in
remember
trouble a
like there
lot
was
for
a
that. Yeah, because
bunch
I
of
wouldn't
easier
do it
ways
the
to
way
do
I
it,
wouldn't. Do it.
and but anyway, what's the difference between that and well, what's the difference between that type of? But
No, no, I didn't say anything.
um, about cybernetics because I don't know honestly anything about it other than it's somehow like a mathematical connection to wave or some types of forms that communicate to different systems, you know,
I mean, I don't really
of
know what cybernetics official meaning is. I
either
know that
thought
basically, like,
or other things.
sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what, but I don't know exactly what cybernetics is about. I mean, I know the basics of it. I think, from what I
Yeah, can
understand,
you hear me?
yeah, I can. I think cybernetics is basically like,
It's like 100% math or something.
Huh? Can you say that one more time? Sorry. Hello?
Yo,
What did you say, sir?
mm, yeah, I think my reception's really bad or something. Can you hear me?
My
Yo,
bad. I don't know what happened. I had to reset my audio.
can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh my God.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me. This is really good radio.